morning, my fellow Americans. What is up? I am R.L. Hardy and you are watching Whiskey Tango Alpha Foxtrot. Well, we still have a voice in this great country of ours, no matter how hard the prepubescent money-grubbing sycophants try to skew the narrative. And over 7 million of us proved it. October 18th, 2025 marked a historical day for protester turnout, and not just here in the old US of A. Across the globe, I think it was 19 free nations also showed up to bring their support to the massive No Kings movement. From Australia to the UK, from Japan to the Czech Republic, fellow democracy defenders ambled up in their inflatable frog likenesses and showed us that we are not alone. And nobody was more disappointed in the lack of violence than the MAGA right themselves. After pumping the narrative about Antifa being this scary, super organized, and ultra-funded terrorist organization, they had no option but to make a hard pivot into middle school age bullying. You're trying so hard to look like you're having fun out there. What a bunch of losers. You got us, buddy. I guess all the singing, dancing, and music was a dead giveaway, huh? I'm just glad that our seniors got out to enjoy the sunshine. Yeah! You might want to try it sometime. You might loosen up. You might even smile. I showed up in my MAGA hat and nobody would talk to me. I win. Sure, Jen. Why don't you have another bite of crow? And pro tip, when everyone very clearly sees through your bullshit and may even call you out on your actual post, don't double down. It just makes you look desperate. And like a blow-up doll. Nearly 0 arrests were made in response to the protesters. However, I could not help but notice the little slew of arrests of MAGA agitators, including this guy, who attacked a woman from behind with a stolen firearm on him. Fortunately, vigilant bystanders restrained and disarmed the assailant until local police arrived to make the arrest. And while all of that was going on, in a desperate attempt to steer attention away from the patriotic display of peaceful protests, VP JD Vance decided that launching munitions over Interstate 5 was an acceptable display of power, a celebration of the Marine Corps' 250th birthday over civilian traffic, where roughly 80,000 people commute every single day. Just one little hunk of shrapnel puncturing a tire moving at 80 plus miles an hour could domino into quite the pileup. But not to worry, Governor Gavin Newsom moved quickly to avoid any civilian casualties by way of shutting down the interstate for a few hours, which the federal government should have done, but opted against it in the end because they really wanted the civilian public to witness their big, bad, state-of-the-art bang-bang. So thank Gavin Newsom for his forthright thinking and general maturity to ensure that that only a patrol vehicle and one of Vance's entourage motorcycles was hurt in the process. But all of this pales in comparison to the toxic waste dump that is our felon-in-chief. And the AI video he posted of himself in a fighter jet wearing a crown, airdropping his diaper deposits all over the peaceful protesters across America. All to the unlawfully appropriated tune of Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. So when 7 million Americans turned out to collectively say, "Fuck this asshole," the free speech president thought that this was an acceptable response. Don't you miss having actual adults in the White House? We can get there again, folks, as long as we keep showing up like this, and this, and this, and this, and this. This country was founded on the premise that we, the people, do not serve a king. Especially not one who breaks every promise he makes, including the one where he swore he wouldn't demolish the people's house, the White House. Our elected officials, including the goddamn president, work for us. It's about time they remembered that.